Hello everyone, welcome to this weekly update video for Monday the 13th of March. There wasn't one last week because there wasn't really enough to get into a video, and I also had a very busy last week at university, so figured we would just roll it into one. There isn't that much for this one, so take that as you will. The first thing I'm just going to briefly talk about is TFM's blog post for this week, which just gives a bit of an overview of what they've been doing over the past few weeks, and the balance between usability, ease of use, and getting all the necessary bells and whistles into TFM's interface. So they basically say that there's no newly completed features as of yet to show, but balancing functionality and ease of use within TFM's interface is obviously important. Essentially to say that creating a highly complex user interface could be overwhelming for some users and may cause them to lose sight of the purpose of TFM or the Simbrief flight planning features, which is what they continue to talk about for the rest of the post. So they talk about the Simbrief window being split into different sections with the tree view on the left and the content on the right. They talk about the Navlog window, which has a list view of waypoints that are in your flight plan with commonly used columns. We spoke about this before in a previous weekly update video where we talked about sort of how this will give you values that you can see on the Simbrief flight plan already if you scroll down, but in an easier to use interface. We talked about the fact that this is not a tramp replacement or something like that yet, as of yet anyway, so you can't just assume that you're going to be able to fly through these waypoints using TFM. We talked about not always taking the altitudes that it gives you for gospel, and actually using the FMC as well, of course, is still very important, but also the fact that it could be useful in terms of VOR names and things like that. So that was all previously discussed. It speaks about there's 40 other columns of information that are not included in the list of waypoints but can be accessed by bringing up the context menu from the Navlog and clicking on more details. There's obviously a lot of information that can be drawn from Simbrief. Users can hide and show columns in the Navlog list by bringing up the Navlog's context menu and navigating to show or hide columns, so you can customize if you would like. The next preview build will be released when the Simbrief window is finished, hopefully before Flight Sim Expo in June, which we've also spoken about and we know that TFM is exhibiting at. So that's that, and TFM Simbrief integration is still coming along. They are following the trajectory that we've also previously spoken about with regards to delaying the 747 in favor of other features. In this case, they've spoken a lot about Simbrief. There isn't really any talk about the first officer features, but one would assume that they are coming along as well, and that those are the two main features that are being worked upon right now rather than the 747. I also gave my opinion on that previously. I think obviously everyone's got different priorities. Ultimately, at least we've got the MCP boxes for the 747. That was one of the really important parts. The rest of the panels we will get, and obviously we're all looking forward to that, but it's not essential, which is why something like first officer at the moment is still very important for the aircraft that are lesser supported. Speaking of first officer and PMDG, 737-900 has now got a sound pack in MSFS from FT Sim. So if you enjoy their sound packs, you can go and download, I believe it's 1.07 for all of their sound packs, where they've made some modifications but also released a config for the 900 version. And it's important to remember a couple of things. This is not necessarily recent, but I've been over the past few days doing a lot of updates to MSFS because I haven't used it for a little while, and it's important to note, keep track of where your software's at, because for example you need the latest FSUI PC to work with the latest first officer build. So it's always a good idea to read through release notes and make sure that everything's up to date, and keep checking your PMDG Ops Center as well. This is the thing that they're updating the MSFS versions frequently. That's clear to see. P3D's versions are not getting updated, and this is why it's important, especially if you are an MSFS user, keep checking the operations center. And in terms of events, I think we can say that CTP, obviously the 1st of April, slots should be coming out over the next few weeks probably. So keep an eye out for that. Hopefully, if you applied for the slot lottery, you will be successful. Obviously, we don't know yet. If you're not successful, then possibly some slots will be made publicly available, and you'll be able to grab one if there are a slot that you're looking for that perhaps isn't confirmed, because that's usually the way they do it, where you have to, even if you get a slot, you have to come back and confirm that you're actually going to do the flight, and if you don't confirm it, that slot will get released back to the public. And BVI Virtuals event was also a success, so thanks to all who participated in our Brussels to Bucharest to Istanbul event. I think it was really great, and as always, we have a really great community within BVI Virtual. That's pretty much going to do it. I would say it's great to see things still getting updated. We've been waiting for the FT Sim sound pack for a little while, so that's good because it is a great sound pack. And other than that, have a great week, and we'll see you shortly for a stream, or over the next week, or if not, next week for the weekly update video.